Okay. Connecting to the software. Very good. Oh, I lost that mic. That's interesting. Why did that mic go away? There we go. Check. 1, 2. Okay. Yes. Go live there. And now back to the StreamYard. Let's do this over here. Hi, everybody. Tom Caltabiano here. The day before. The day before. The day before the Everybody Loves Raymond Everyone's Raymond 30-year reunion part 2 is what we will have. Okay, let's see. How's that? Wow, my shutter is interesting. Very interesting. What are you going to do? Welcome, everybody. Tom Caltabiano here, talking to you on Sunday, December 21st, 2022. It is somebody's birthday today. That would be Ray Romano's, TV's Ray Romano's birthday. Let's say hello, everybody. Today, I have no guest, just us chatting about tomorrow night and everything else that is coming up. So let's get into it. Hello, Annabelle. Hi, Karen. Karen, you had a question. Yeah, look, Karen, don't go searching deep into Instagram. I will post pictures of behind the scenes. As you can imagine, it's a very busy time here. Aloha, Bob. I'm saying that because he's in Hawaii. Oh, let me move back for Instagram. Wow, look how close Instagram is. That's insanity. Truly insanity. Okay. It's so close. We will get that. Hello from Holland, Michigan, home of Herman Miller. Am I correct or am I incorrect? All right, let's go through comments. Yes, hi everybody. Let's bring a couple up there. Here we go. Can we do that? Can we do that? Yes, there we go. Hi from Annabelle. Hi Mona. It's cold in Montreal, 14 degrees Fahrenheit. Barely 70 here in Hollywood. I'll be popping in and out. Yes, just have Canadian friends. It's also going to be on Global TV station Monday. I don't know what that is. Hi Tom, watching from the car. What does that mean? You will stay as long as you can, Karen. Everybody's shopping, I guess. Hi, Donnell. We have so much to discuss today. Hello in Marshfield, Massachusetts. Hi, Janet. Welcome. Yes, let's see this. Sorry, that long humming is me thinking about these types of things. Okay, so on Instagram, I don't think, do you see? Yes, you do see the comments that I'm bringing up. Okay, I'll comment. I'm sorry, folks. It's an uncomfortably close up on Instagram. Oh, let me see. Oh, there we go. I don't know what. So usually the focus is on my eye, and I'm looking, and it's oddly. I mean, it's in focus now, but it's jumping off easily, which isn't the case. Hi, Benjamin. I can't help but think that your videos and our engagement had some part in getting a part 2, though the ratings of the first was the main driver. Yes, Benjamin, a very pragmatic way of looking at it. And yeah, so it's hard to separate it. We'll never know exactly all of the reasons, but the ratings of the Everose Raymond 30-year reunion special were phenomenally high. And CBS is a network that needs to make money, so they smell money. So that is the driver. Now, having said that, so many of you spread the word and also have missed the show, and you really want to see anything that relates to the show. So, yeah, I mean, I would say yes. So was us talking every Sunday for 5 years the main thing? No, and I know you're not saying that, Benjamin, but I think it all works together. All of this press, all of this, etc. But having said that, having said all of the fans' enthusiasm being a factor, had the show got in 1 million viewers, you would not see a rerun 4 days later, which is something, again, I've never heard of, or would you be seeing a part 2? So yes, thank you, Benjamin. Astute observation. Hi, yes, live pictures. You are quite welcome. I love this. Let's see. Can we? Okay, so let's go over to Instagram where I've been neglecting. And last week, by the way, my cameraman. So Matt and Omar were there, and the funniest thing is for them, it was killing them because we were having to switch. They were trying. No shot to Instagram was good, but it was better than just seeing the canister in between me and Eric Pinkowski. So from if people were watching at home going, man, your cameramen are not really good. They're exceptionally good. And I shouldn't even say cameraman because that's beneath them. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But when we went live, all of a sudden, the first time with two people, on StreamYard, where you can pick what's known as the aspect ratio. So all of a sudden, the reason for those of you that are watching on Facebook, I have a normal framing. They would call it still a little bit tight for my taste. But if you're watching on Instagram, it's literally just my head. Okay. Karen, you're missing it tomorrow night, but you'll have a recording. Tom, how did you get stated in the business? I'm going to say that started in the business. Okay, let's talk about really how that came about. For me, my start, I started in stand-up comedy in New York City at the original Improv and ended up working a lot doing stand-up comedy, and I met Ray Romano there. And we worked a lot together on the road. And then when Everett Raymond happened, Ray was coming off of being fired after one day on news radio. And so the following year, he got Everett Raymond. And he asked if I wanted to move out. Potentially, he could get me a job on the show as a writer, but that was not promised. So that's kind of how it launched into this aspect, and the show. Ray did not get fired this time after one day, and so that's kind of the trajectory. Okay, let's see. Reading those things. Okay, let's talk because Christmas is here. What am I drinking today? Okay, I'm drinking this. I'm drinking Twinings English Breakfast Tea. Since 1706. That's not when I started drinking it. I just started drinking it much later. But there you go. A little bit. And I dug out all of our... Okay, here we go. Come on. Yes. The AIS mug in red. The AIS mug in red. Super delicious. Wow. Very good. Okay, let's talk about the 30-year anniversary special. It's all new. There was a lot of confusion. That's why I made that little video. Ray, Phil, and Eric Pinkowski, who's the executive producer, who joined us last week, executive producer of the special. I was taking photographs of them filming new things with Phil and Raymond, and then we went to lunch together. We went to lunch at Max and Helen's, which is Phil's new diner that he's doing with Nancy Silverton. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. If you're in LA, go check it out. Although the wait time is between 3 and 5 hours. And now you might say, I will not wait for 5 hours for anything. You put your name on the list and then you go live your life, and then they text you when your table is ready 5 hours later. So it's not like the opening of Star Wars that the people are just camped out with tents and stuff to get a waffle. Although it's worth it. It is worth camping out. All right. So we had lunch and I said, hey, guys, can we... just do a quick video so people know that it's all new stuff. And that's where, for those of you that didn't see it, that's how that came about. And then Raymond, of course, has trouble not being funny. So he added, there will be nudity there. There will not be any nudity on the special tomorrow night. But there you go. So now yes, let's do this. Hi, Kim. Welcome. By the way, for those of you that were in attendance on when they filmed the with the audience, I will post a picture of the audience, and you can find yourself in the audience, and you can circle it and send it to me or whatever you want, or you can just describe, I'm the third person on the left behind the guy in front of the other guy. Because I do have that. I do have shots of the whole audience. I don't have close-ups of everybody, but I did shoot 4,000 photos of that day. So there you go. And Kim, you'll have to find yourself if we go early. Let's see. Tom, do you know what will be included in part 2? Is your interview going to be shown? Yeah. So Karen, excellent question. So there were a lot of interviews, and many of them, as I've mentioned before, like Alex Meneses, like me, like John Manfrotati. A lot of them you didn't see. You saw maybe a blip, like you saw a blip of me, a tenth of a half of a second of me out of 30 minutes where I spoke. And same with Alex Meneses, only you saw 0 of her interview. So you will be seeing more of that. You'll see more segments. You'll see just really, really good, entertaining stuff. I mean, could they make it a 3-hour total special? Because now, at the end of this, after Monday night, you will have a 1.5-hour special plus a 1-hour special. So you will have 2.5 hours of Everybody Loves Raymond. So it's all great stuff. And yes, I believe there's more of me in the episode coming up, because believe me, I was very much a part of getting this going and having this happen at all. So the irony was when people who are my friends said, "Did you go to the reunion, Tom? Were you part of it in any way?" Which I expressed to Eric, so hopefully more so. Okay, let's say some hellos. Hi, Deb. Yes, I guess I just briefed. Hi, Deb. What new insights on part 2? Can you brief us? Yes, that is why I'm here, to brief you. A legitimate question. To brief is the point. Yes, of giving you. Ray's birthday party. Let me see. Ray's birthday. Yes, Ray's birthday's today. So we celebrated. So the pictures I posted were during and let's talk about that, everybody. When there was a birthday for anybody on the casting crew and we were in production, meaning we were on stage making the show, there would be a birthday cake for that person. Whether it was the stage PA, which means production assistant, who was just, production assistant was just getting coffee for people, let's just say. They did more than that. Or if it was Doris Roberts or Peter Boyle, everybody got a cake. Everybody, we sang happy birthday to everybody. It was always a very festive celebration. And in one of the gag reels I put together, I did this kind of poignant thing. I won't give it away in case someday I show it. But you just hear the sounds of the stage. And you hear, one of the things is everybody singing happy birthday to somebody on stage. So for Raymond, the pictures I posted are, they wheeled out a cake and the whole cast came out and sang happy birthday, as did the audience sing happy birthday. So those were some of the photos that I posted. And also some of the photos were of a birthday dinner. And Ray has had some giant birthday celebrations and smaller ones. His biggest one was he had a 50th birthday surprise. And I will tell you about that. Let me go back. I'll tell you about his 50th birthday surprise. Chocolate cake. Yes. Okay, Annabelle, here we go. When I get out there, I will wait 5 hours for that petty melt and some chocolate cake. Yes. So do I have a picture? I had that chocolate cake yesterday. It's exceptionally good. Now, as you know, I'm still trying to track down the original maker of Doris's chocolate cake, which had the nickname Rhonda's cake. But for those of you that are joining late, Helen and Max is on Larchmont Street in Los Angeles. It is Phil Rosenthal's parents were named Helen and Max, and the Food of the Month Club was something that happened with Helen and Max, and so that is the diner that we're talking about, etc. Okay, Karen, Jack, it'd be amazing if you could give us a little sample of your stand-up comedy one day. We'd love to hear some of your favorite jokes or routines. Yes, absolutely. Let me see. Tom, do you hope fans take away? What do you hope? Yeah, I mean, look, Eric did a great job, and the whole production did a great job, and the people that designed and replicated the set did a great job. It's such a beloved family, Everybody's Raymond, and I think you'll see, for those of you that have been following for 5 years, you know a lot about the show. You know more than most people know about the show. So will you just, much like when you watch the same episode for the 400th time and you still laugh, it's kind of the same thing, only you're getting just more insight into how the show got shaped. So for the people, and this has happened, there's a lot of people watching who never watched the episodes, never watched the series, and there's just nothing on to watch, so they watch the 30th reunion special of a show that they've never seen and go, oh, I guess maybe I should check this show out if they are celebrating it, which is very good. Love the Phil. Sorry, I'm reading through. That's the long pause. Love the Phil Short parody from Die Hard. Yes, Phil did that. Joe, Phil did that. It's very funny. So for those of you that do not know what he's talking about, Phil Rosenthal is in a parody of Die Hard, and you should watch it. You can look it up. Is it on Funny or Die? I'm pretty sure it's on Funny or Die. Okay, let's see here. I have my alarm set. Let me see. Here we go. Tom. Hi, Lynn. Tom, do you have any control or say of ELR rerun reels? When on Facebook, I discovered to swipe the screen to the left hides many reels of ELR as soon as other shows like All in the Family, Golden Girls, plus other subjects hitting news. Lynn, I think I understand your question. I rerun reels. I don't know. I have no control over anything. How's that for a broad statement? Even for me, even on my channel, which is ELR 360, I get messages from Facebook that says, hey, Tom. They don't say that. They say, hey, hi, Everybody Loves Raymond 360. Because you're uploading such good content, we've expanded your reach. And all of a sudden, and for those of you that remember, I think I was probably at 20,000 followers for a long time in that ballpark. We're now going to hit 72,000 followers of a lot of dedicated fans. So I'm surprised when I see that. All I do is try and post as many photos and good descriptions and insights, etc. And really, there's no magic button where I go, now I could pay to boost posts, but I've never once paid to boost anything. Boosting posts means it just gets in front of different people's eyeballs. And I do think that would be a good idea sometimes. What I find funny is when I see on other Everybody Loves Raymond sites completely wrong information being shared and vehemently being shared. So I do wish that I could bring a bigger audience, etc. But no, I don't have any control over that, unfortunately. Yes, Merry Christmas, everybody. Boys, yes, happy birthday, Ray. Sorry. Let me catch up. Wow. Sorry. Let's go to the neglected stepchild called Instagram. What's interesting, by the way, is Instagram. I had the most followers on Instagram really quickly, and then it kind of changed. Okay. Let me see this. Part 2 promises more behind-the-scenes content. What was most surprising and unexpected moment you witnessed during the original series run that sticks with you? Yes. Excellent question. Here, I will say this. Sorry, I'm trying to answer. Because it is work, it is a job. You're not sitting there going, we're making a classic sitcom from day one. You're struggling to make sure everything works. The first time was really the letter episode when the audience was just kind of in awe of the scene in the kitchen when he's reading the letter out loud, and the audience was just really mesmerized. And I remember tearing up a little as that moment happened because it was so, everything came together. It was such a great moment. So that was the first time. And then, of course, the Golford episode, there was a spontaneous standing ovation by the audience at the end of the big fight in the car. That stuck with me, but so many. I'm trying to memorize what they're wearing, so hopefully one day I can make a correct guess. Hi, Lisa. When I post the pictures, etc. Okay. Let me see this. Hi, Donnell. I bring your comments up immediately. Since today is also my birthday, I feel like I should be invited to any Ray birthday celebration. So gas of the private jet and come get me. Oh, gas up. Yeah, gas of the private. I got the, yes, Donnell, here's the thing. I will pitch that. Let me see how we can get you to come to the birthday celebration. I don't know, and that leads me to Ray's big surprise birthday that happened for his 50th. Let me see what I can do, Donnell. But I would say I think everybody here is wishing you a happy birthday because you have been a great, let me be in focus when I say that. You have been a great part of the show, of this show especially. And very extremely helpful whether you like to admit it or not. Hi, Bob Silva. Did your stand-up career start out on open mic night? Yes. Yes, same place Raymond started. So the original Improv in New York City had an open mic night every Sunday. You would put your name in a hat. They would pick out your name, and then you would get to do 5 minutes in front of a couple of people. And so that's how I did one other show before then. I did a charity show. Everything I say here is going to be surprising to some of you, and it just sounds bizarre. But I was helping out with a fund to a 24-hour ski-a-thon for the American Cancer Society to raise money, and there was a DJ there interviewing us who were involved, and I told him, I'm starting to do stand-up comedy, but also I'd love to DJ on a radio station, and he said, come up tomorrow, which was Christmas Day, or come up in 2 days. So on Christmas morning, I went to WTBQ, 11:10 a.m. in Florida, New York. It was a polka radio station that also played other things, but Jimmy Sturr, for those of you that don't know, polka, look up Jimmy Sturr. He owned the radio station or was part owner of the radio stations, etc. So I started there, and then I was talking about doing stand-up with almost no experience. I would call it zero experience. And the station manager said, hey, we're doing a charity benefit live show. Why don't you do stand-up? So that was actually my first stand-up show at a Unitarian church in upstate New York, north of Goshen, I believe. But then the Improv was the actual first on stage at a comedy club. So there you go. There you go, Bob. So interesting a little bit. I asked, as last week, there was always a yellow stripe across the top, but today there was a 46 with parts of different episodes, which was super. Okay. Lynn, are you talking, that's almost in code. Are you talking on Facebook? Because as I've said many times here, this streams to Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Then I also have a Twitter account for the thing, or X, and I also get messages on all of those places. So the amount of messages and basically interactions is a lot. And so when you're commenting on something, I'm not sure unless you say Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, or probably not Twitter. Okay. Yes, this is me scrolling through. Sorry, the pregnant pause is not a pregnant pause. It is just me scrolling through. Let me see this. Let me see this. Let me see this. What did you do before all those like in your younger days? What was your first job not in show business? Hi, Mona. By the way, what's interesting, let me share with you social media, a little bit of insights because it's so overwhelming. What you try and do is build a community. You get to know the people. Like I feel like I know so many of you, and some of you I have met in person, which is great. And it's, if you don't like to talk about yourself it's not the normal thing. And in show business, it's a weird conundrum because you're going on stage to do stand-up comedy and people talk about you, or you talk about yourself and your opinion. But you're building this community it could be a trucking company, it could be a lollipop manufacturer, but you'll notice that you respond to people that share insights into themselves and companies. In the old days, for example, you would buy a Schwinn bike, let's say, and you would go, I want a Schwinn bike. You wouldn't go, I wonder what the founder's like. I wonder where they build this. I wonder what the guy does for breakfast. And now you'll see you get attracted to a company when you hear their personal story. So I give that preamble because in general, I try and only talk about the show and not myself. Maybe we'll do more of a longer thing and I'll tell you all of my early beginnings, etc. But Mona, just to answer your question, my first job would be cutting lawns in the neighborhood where I grew up. And then it's my career, my job path is very, very, you will never guess the things that I've done. Let's see here. Oh my God, I'm Polish and my dad brought me up listening to polka music. I love it. Okay, Kim, you grew up listening to polka music or Polish music. Yeah. So polka is, well, here's a funny thing. This is really a circuitous story, but why not share it? What are we here for but to share bizarre stories? For many of you watching, you know that I have a children's educational thing on PBS called Hello, Hi, How Are You? With a bunch of my beloved puppet characters. And the other day, I was talking to the puppet builder in his puppet building workshop, and he was talking about working with Frank Oz. Frank Oz is Miss Piggy and the right-hand person of Jim Henson, and also a fantastic director, etc. And there was a signature by Frank Oz in his workshop, and next to it, it said Jimmy Sturr. And I said, oh, why do you have Jimmy Sturr's name? And he goes, oh, because I listen to random music. Now, this is a young, non-Polish, 37-year-old, 45-year-old American guy. And so the last thing I thought would be, oh, he's probably listening to Jimmy Sturr. But I looked over and I said, you know, you spelled it wrong. You spelled Jimmy Sturr's name wrong. And he said, well, how would you know Jimmy Sturr and how would you know I spelled it wrong? And then I told him that backstory a little bit that I just told you guys. So there you go. There's a long circuitous thing. So perhaps polka. And I do know Jimmy Sturr, I think, won a bunch of Grammys doing that. So, wow, wasn't expecting that. Let's talk about a surprise birthday that Raymond had. Today is his birthday, December 21st. For his 50th birthday, well, here, I'll go back. There was a 40th birthday surprise. And Ray's wife in real life, not Patty Heaton, but Ray's real wife, called me to help plan the birthday surprise. And what we didn't know is that I think Ray might have overheard something, but we still fooled him by having it a few days before his birthday. That was his 40th birthday. I have pictures of that. I have video of him walking in being completely shocked. And that was during the Raymond years. Now, for Ray's 50th birthday, it was an incredible, elaborate plan. And there was going to be a big charity event at a theater in Los Angeles called the Wilshire E. Bell Theater, where very often the Lorraine Boyle benefit for Peter Boyle takes place. The Wilshire E. Bell Theater, E-B-E-L-L, if you look it up. And so Ray was told, hey, you're going to go to a fundraiser at this theater. And what he didn't know was it was all for him. It was a brilliant, brilliant surprise, and he had no clue. So he pulls up, and there is, are you ready for some name drops, people? There is Larry David. You could see that. That's, he's in comedy. But then also there is Clint Eastwood, who's a fairly big star. And there is a bunch of people, obviously Phil, as much of the cast who could make it, etc. So when Ray pulled up, instead of it blowing the surprise, he just goes, oh, there's a bunch of celebrities who are invited to this also. And wow, it'll be good to see them on the inside. And then when he walked in, everybody yelled surprise. And I believe I have, there we go. What's so interesting, because the focus is so much on my eye that when I take out a candy, it has trouble focusing on anything else. I have a panoramic black and white film camera that I took the last final episode of Ever Was Raymond. I took photos with that, etc. Okay. All right, Donnell. So there you go. Ray's surprise birthday party. Brilliant. If you ever want to surprise your friends, tell them they have to go to an event for something else that everybody should be going to, and then they won't be surprised. Hi, Donnell. Of course, I was joking, Tom. Thank you and everyone for your birthday wishes. That was more than enough to make my day. Yes, happy birthday, Donnell. I assumed you were kidding. When in Facebook, if I swipe the screen to the left, it takes me to Reels. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's the function of Facebook. Let's see. Folks, I will post a mailing address if you guys want to send cards, letters, etc., treats, because today I'm going to taste this. What is this, Tom? Tom, what are you showing us? Okay, so every year, Scott, who's he was the utility on Everybody Loves Raymond, he makes this little gift. Should I open? Let me just stop teasing you. I don't know where the canister is. Maybe I lent it to somebody and they didn't return it. Let me see. Yes, polka is no joker. Okay, so Scott Spiegel. Do this and then this. Let's see. See how funny is that? How funny is that now, folks? Now it doesn't want to focus. Okay, hold on. I'm going to have to duck my head out of the way. There we go. Oh, yes. That, folks, is a handmade, chocolate-covered pretzel. That is the pretzel stick. So there we go. If I bring it close to my face, maybe it'll be... Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Scott Spiegel, every year, he shows up with these pretzels that he makes at home. I don't know how many he makes. I think he's going to go bankrupt, but I'm going to taste this now. Let's see. I got to duck out of the way. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Perfection. All right, here we go. Come on. Wow. Yes. The camera has met its match. I got to duck out of the way, and then can you tell that I don't have a cameraman here, a camera operator? Oh, yes. Okay. Wow. This is just as frustrating for you as it is for me, folks. All right. I have an idea. I have a brilliant idea right now. Okay. Oh my gosh. The challenge. Wow. That is like doing gymnastics. All right, I'm going to hold it next to my head. There you go. There's the inside. It's got chocolate and then caramel. Hold on. All right, folks. That is a 9. That is a 9. That might be my highest rated thing. That is a Scott Spiegel homemade chocolate covered with caramel on the inside pretzel. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. So, enjoy the chewing, folks. Wow. Holy moly. I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I'm going to, here, I'll just put it by my face because it can't keep up. All right. Now it focuses perfectly, now that the chocolate is no longer to be seen. So unbelievably good. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I went to Max and Helen's yesterday, and Scott texted me because he wanted to give it to me. And I think for those of you that watched this 30-year special, you see it really is very much a family. Are there some people that don't get along? Yeah, there's a couple. But I think that would be normal, like in any family. And now you're talking about 130 people. But for the most part, everybody likes each other. And Scott said, "Hey, Tom, where are you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm going to be at Max and Helen's." He said, "I'll show up." I said, "Oh." And then he showed up. And who was there but Phil Rosenthal and Monica Rosenthal. And the day before, when I was there with Ray and Eric and Phil, who was there but Lisa Miller Katz, who you'll see, who's the casting director, and her assistant Maggie, and Aaron Champion was there. And then in walked randomly Ken Shapiro, who directed a bunch of episodes. So it's a little bit all in the family type of thing. And let me see what we got here. Okay. Oh, now I'm really here. Let's see this. Okay. When I say now I'm really here, I'm looking at this. Okay, so here, let's see this. Where's this? Scrolling through. Wow, Tom. Like it down. Oh, here's some. That's a map. Here we go. There's some bread I made yesterday, everybody. No, what am I saying yesterday? This morning that I will be giving away. Okay, now here we go. Let's see this. Let's do this. Let's see this. Going over here now. So, yeah. So here, now this, Phil, there. Here we go. There's Monica, Phil, and that's, that is Heather Graham, who I did a sitcom with, but also did a food show in Korea, and she did Phil's podcast. And Phil said, you can go anytime you want to Max and Helen's, and that was yesterday. And Monica just happened to be walking by and leaned into me for that photo. So there you go. And there is now hanging, hold on, folks. Here we go. 1 second. This is also hanging in Max and Helen's. It is a large fork and spoon, everybody. So there you go. The Scott Spiegel. Now, how do I share it with everybody? I'll tell Scott the bad news that he has to make a few hundred more. Okay. Let's see what we got here, folks. I buy those pretzels. I have to try that. Yes. Oh, hold on. Do I mute this? How do I do this? Okay, Google, stop. What is that timer for? Sweet and salty, the best. I bet it would be good with peanut butter in place of caramel. Yes. I've been watching more than a year because that treat looks familiar. Yum. Oh, hi. So sorry to miss this today as I'm at a Hanukkah party. So excited. Yes, happy Hanukkah. Tom, I wish I could send you my latkes. Now, the latkes, Ellen, would probably be soggy, I'm saying. Something like that. Hi, Deb. Okay. When could we celebrate my birthday? Oh, on my birthday. Uh, can you discuss the decision-making process behind creating an original unaired part two from existing photo rather than filming an entirely new segment? Thanks, Deb. Well, there's a lot of new segments that were filmed, and then there's stuff that was filmed. So it all comes down to money. So the set for Ever's Raymond was an astronomical amount of money for a normal TV show. In other words, you don't build that elaborate set for a special. The Friends set existed. And so when they did the Friends reunion, it was kind of there, it was sat at Warner Brothers, etc. But this they had to do. So it's just economic. So the part two was completely out of the blue. It's because the ratings were so high. And rather than because you don't even have time. So you have to think the planning for the actual first filming took at least 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 3 months to do. We are talking about the day, 2 days before Thanksgiving, CBS says, can you give us another special in 3 weeks? So there just wouldn't be time to assemble a live audience and to coordinate all the schedules. Half of the problem of filming that special was when are Brad, Patty, Ray, and Phil, and Monica, everybody, when are they in the same state? You know, they have to plan that. So that was really, really figured out long in advance. And for those of you who went to the Paley exhibit, and again, go visit the Long Island Museum because you will be sitting in the very set that all of the cast sat there, sat in the middle of, walked on, etc. So there, just for the Paley exhibit, I forget what the date is now, but it was like June 15th or something. That was worked around Ray's schedule 7 months earlier. We figured out when would Ray be in New York and have one free night. So in 7 months advance time, we figured out the Paley has to happen then. And when it turned out to fall on that date, Brad Garrett couldn't be there because he was doing a Pixar press tour in London. So there you go. Okay, let's see this. Here we go. Let's see, Annabelle. Let's see. Can anyone walk into a comedy club in New York and try to do stand-up? Like if you were in New York and walked into one, could you put your name on a list or do you have to audition or apply in advance? Annabelle, excellent question. It all depends on the club, but usually a club has an open mic night. So at the Improv, it was like the first Sunday of every month, or was I have to remember. I have to have Zoe Friedman of the Improv, or Raymond if he even remembers. But it was always a Sunday night. Sunday night is the dead night. Now it's much more common for comedy clubs everywhere to have an open mic night. It's just like a normal thing. There is an open mic night. Okay. But Annabelle, let me know if you decide to do it, and we'll pull some strings. Okay, Mona, I don't remember the blue chairs in the shot you showed this morning. So, Mona, when don't you remember them from? I have a word order problem today. Yes, let me dig out original photos. They were definitely in the special because I took them. And for those of you, if you want to know, the pictures I posted this morning, let's do this for the people that don't know what I'm talking about. Let me see, when did I post those? Okay, so this view, so that view, there's two blue chairs, kind of dark on my screen. Maybe you guys can see it. There's two little blue chairs there that were 100% there for the special. And I'm going to say that they were there for the TV series because it was done by the original team who did the TV series. So LJ and Donna and Sharon all working together. Okay, let's see this. I hope to see Kevin again when I go to Limehoff next month. Yes, Limehoff is the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. Kevin is the creative director. I don't know what his official title is, but that's what he does effectively. Oh, let's come back to focus. Yes. Yes, hopefully you will see them. Let me know before you go. Happy the last night of Hanukkah. Okay. Okay, let's see this. The blue chairs, scrolling. Oh, my favorite Christmas episode? That's a tough one. I mean, I wrote Jazz Records one, and it's really personal, so I really. Oh, let me get focus here. I am partial to that episode, but I like them. I like them all. All I Want for Christmas. I have a couple funny lines in there, so I really enjoy that. I'm trying to think of any of it. It was always a special time, Christmas on the set of Raymond. Because it was also November, I think, when we filmed them. So you had Thanksgiving in real life, and then you had Christmas on the stage. And I do regret not taking more, although, as you know, I have 30,000, and I have to scan a lot of those photos. So, all right, let's go back. Hi, Joe. Any chance of finding your daily bread on the menu of Max and Helen's? I would love to eat there, but who has 5 hours to hang out waiting for a table? I guess put your name in and then go to breakfast. Yes, you can do that. But Joe, hopefully the line dies down eventually, not for business sake, but for people's sake. But yeah, you put your name on a list and they text you. Max and Helen's, Phil Rosenthal's collaboration with Nancy Silverton, the diner on Larchmont Street, run by Mason Royal, the husband of Lily Rosenthal. There we go. And it's funny because this is an inside baseball thing, but not really. Monica Horan is Phil's wife. Everybody from the outside who is a curmudgeon and an angry person and an accusatory person is like, of course she got the part because she's married to Phil. And the reason she got the part is because another writer suggested her to act in it, and I think Phil was kind of on the fence, not because of her ability, but, you know, there's ramifications because what if she's terrible? Now, he knows she's not going to be terrible because he's seen her act many times before, so people from the outside are like, Phil, the reason Stefania didn't marry Robert is because she's not married to the producer, and I know, because that's what motivates people only. Phil's son-in-law runs the restaurant. It was not his idea to run the restaurant. It was Nancy Silverton's idea that perhaps the son-in-law, who she had now spent a lot of time with, and he had zero involvement with the restaurant, actually run the restaurant. And that's how it turned out. So 2 cases where Phil would be accused of nepotism, favoritism, all the tisms, and they were not true. But, oh well, people will believe no matter what you say, especially if you don't believe that we walked on the moon. Then we're not going to convince you that Phil didn't pick the chef for his diner. But yes, Joe, I do think it will die down that weight. Okay, let's scroll down and catch up. Yes, the large leather chair near the door was green in the reunion, but watching the show, it looked black. Yes, Lynn, it is green. It looks black in many of my photos. It is green. Trust me, it is green. But you are correct. It does look black. Let me see this. Will there be any reference to King of Queens in the reunion? So Alexander Joseph, Kevin James left a taped message for the show that we played in front of the live studio audience. And it didn't make the cut. Kevin, in Kevin's... It didn't look like Kevin. He was wearing a hat and glasses, and look, so it was hard to tell if that was really Kevin. So I don't know if there will be a mention. And can you get the set folks back to talk about resourcing the entire set? Absolutely, Joe. 100%. Sorry, I can't force people to join me, but yes, that is my plan to talk about that. Let me see this. Okay, scrolling here. Now back to, let me see this. Oh, back to this here. Tom, have you ever told us what your favorite? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Leo. And Leo, I think, yes. There's a focus. Ashton period M period K. My favorite season of ELR was season 3. Many golden episode. What was your favorite season to film and why? So I've seen people refer to that. I don't have a favorite season. I don't look at it the way it's there's 2 individual, I guess you could say, what was your favorite year that you were alive? And, I guess, yes, if you went through terrible trauma on the one year, it's like not that year. But for Raymond, it just got better every single year. Season one was the most shaky, so to speak, where we didn't know the future. Once season two rolled around, we were in pretty good shape, and then it was just focusing on every episode. The toughest episode season was season 9, probably the funniest episodes. Some of the funniest episodes, season 9. Wow. But it was just sad because we knew it had to end. And many of us did not want it to end. So a great question. Okay, here we go. Everyone's Raymond 3 thank you for airing the second edition. Yes, we are making an appeal by June 2026. There, let me just bring that up. Both parts on the DVD, possibly the proceeds going towards suicide awareness prevention so Sweeten, we thank you in advance. Oh, yes, that would be very nice. Unfortunately, I have no control, but that's a great idea. Let's see that. Going through here. Sorry, trying to answer all the questions. Hi, Deb. How did the process of sifting through unaired footage for part 2 differ from preparing part 1? Maybe I already asked the question since I've asked so many. No, that is an excellent question. So the first thing was all the things that had to be cut that Eric had to sit there and go, oh man, I need to shave 15 seconds. So I wish everybody here watching could sit in the edit bay because you know how you have a tough decision of, do I throw out that clothes or give away that clothes? I don't know. I might. So that process is you're watching something. It's really, really funny. And you have to say to the editor, cut it out, cut it. And that controversy again that we talked about, where Monica didn't hug Patricia Heaton, and we know that she did hug Patricia Heaton, but you heard in Eric's voice the urgency of like, I don't have enough time to watch her hug. So for those of you that are watching and have never sat in an edit bay, you're sitting there going, oh, I wish I could see more of that. Yeah, so does everybody, but you have to make these really tough decisions. So there was a whole segment on Ray and Phil's father that had to get cut. All of Alex Manessis' interview had to get cut. I'm in it for 10 seconds, and I spoke for 30 minutes. So all of these decisions have to be made. So it's a much different decision, Deb, for making part 2 than part 1. Part 1 was started over a year ago of structuring how that show would be. And then figuring out the set, figuring out where the audience is, all of that stuff, how much you conclude the audience, etc. Part 2 is, here's what we have. We have to finish it in 3 weeks, basically, and get it going. So there were a lot of just, here's what we have and here's what we know we cut. So that was an easy thing. Let's put that back in so people can see it. Let's see. Let me scroll on before let me see. Would love to watch both of you in first and second. Yes, they will be good. Tom, please explain if the no wallpaper in the car through wall was actually different. As I froze the screen, it looks identical to me in the wall. Thanks. Yes, Lynn, I've asked that, and I can't remember if Donna or Judson or Dan DuPont, if they answered me with a straight answer, or if they lied to me, or if they knowingly withheld the information, but it looks pretty identical. It's hard to say, but yes, I think it's identical. Part 1 is on YouTube. Google Every Better Loves Women. Yeah, I don't know that. Will Ray come on with you again? Yes, sure. He's been here 3 times, so yes. Bring back Ray too. Okay, I'm scrolling up. I'd love to watch a reunion. Is it possible to somehow watch it in a link through the account? Were there any stories shared by the cast during the taping that still didn't make the cut for part 2? Probably. Yes, of course. It was, Tom, will you bring Eric back? You were Dynamite together. Yes, I'd love to have Eric back anytime. Hi, Alexander Joseph. Also, I had an idea of where would the characters be now. That Amy and Deborah own a restaurant named after the McDougal, Barone, Whalen family. I thought of this after Phil's restaurant. I could also see Ray being a sports podcaster. Yes, perhaps that is a good idea. All the guys resemble Ray. all of which guys? When people said that about Monica getting the parts. Mona, yes. Did any original set pieces or props bring back intense memories? Intense memories? I mean, walking, I said this to Eric, walking on the set. Oh, you know what I do have, which I'll share with you guys if you want. I have a part 2 of me walking through the set with Eric. I have original video of me walking through the set before we, in 2005, before the set was broken down. And I took a time-lapse series of the set being broken down. But I do have that original walkthrough with Tom late at night with a ruler I have a yardstick in my hand, and I'm just pointing out the whole set. Nobody's there. It's the lights are off. There's some lights, but not many. I walked with Eric after the filming was done, and we walked through the set. So I will post that. I post the original where Alex Meneses interrupts us, and I will post the second half of that chair. Monica was the perfect for Amy. Yes. Okay, let's keep going here. Yes, so sorry. It was a very emotional. There was no one piece, etc. But walking onto the set was, again, it's like stepping into your childhood home and your parents are there, and it's like everything is back to normal. Let me see. Off topic for the gift shop, ELR trading cards, pinback buttons, or lapel pin. All excellent ideas, Bob. All excellent ideas. What would you put on the trading cards? What are you thinking? Set stuff, etc. Merry Christmas, Tom. Thanks for all your entertainment. Yes, Ellen, you are very, very welcome. Sorry, folks. I know this is critical time for most men. They have to eventually start thinking about soon doing some of their Christmas shopping. And for the women, they just have one more thing to get. That is called a generalization, which is probably accurate. Let me see. Oh, Kim. Kim on Instagram. Hi, Kim. And Alex Meneses. Alex Meneses, yes. Alex, you, if you had married Phil, this is sad. If you had married Phil, I don't think it would have turned out differently because Stefania, not Alex Meneses, I've met them both. Stefania is, I don't think you want to marry her. I feel like that's trouble. She was somewhat annoying. And to be honest, if Robert marries Stefania, it's hard to feel sad for him also. So, but we will never know. Yes, Monica's a great actress. Okay, Kim, see that? When I neglect Instagram and then I missed the whole exchange. Does he love Chinese lanterns and Chinese dragons? And okay, from Wuhan's okay. My mom is Polish, polka dancing at every wedding. My uncle was a DJ in Buffalo, Polish music, Polish artist. Yes, oh, see that? One of my first jobs, I did the decorations for Rory Rosegarten's son's bar mitzvah. Didn't think I was going to read that today. Fascinating. My favorite episode of season, okay, yes, going through there. Favorite season 3. I'm just curious if of any of the other writers look at it as the seasons, something like that. Okay. Hello, Scotty B. Kim. Yes, they were from around season 4. They're from LL Beam, and they had their names on them. Yes, Kim. Thank you, Kim, who worked on the series. Kim, I was so busy taking photos that I barely talked to anybody backstage all the set because I thought, oh, well, I have to do it. Okay. Am I getting heckled by Alex? I don't know. Kim, yes, hope that it may have been a Stickler. The rocking chair was made by, Stickley, everybody. I know it's so hard to so Stickley is they made furniture. Is it Craftsman style furniture? Is it LG Stick? There's two Stickleys. There's the original Stickley, which is quarter sawn oak. It's a very specific style. And then there was like a brother or something who also made it. But yes, Stickley Furniture. Wow, didn't know we were doing. Tom, sorry if you answered this, but I'd like to know what props did you keep from the original set, if any? Thanks. Hi, Kathy. Okay, Kim, you're answering that as it's almost real time. It's hard for me to tell when the comments are 1 minute old or current. So what did Tom keep? Oh, let's do this. I must mention this: during the tour, I had a chance to see a special person walking through the turnstile. Did I miss the beginning of that? Let's see this. The process of sifting the remember different. Yes, let me catch up. I watch the show differently now with all of your insights. Yes, real life inspiration, since Monica Rand and Phil are married in real life, with Amy and were taken from the marriage. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff, but there's a lot. Okay, wow. Let me catch up. Let me see. The show really only got better from late season 2 and onwards. Absolutely true. Annabelle attended a lot of them. Okay, Mona. Merry Chris, Tom. Hope everybody, yes, has a wonderful fan. I'm very late. Okay, Mona, I do appreciate you joining. I appreciate all of your things. Hi, Kristen. It was emotional being, let me get focused, in the audience because we couldn't do it when it was live on air. Yes, you're talking about the original show. You couldn't do that original show. Yes, and attending that was kind of like attending an episode, but at least you got to see the dynamic of them on stage. It was a much more regimented thing than that. I saw Tucker Carly on the reunion show. Yes. Let's see this. Surprise at the reunion. No real surprises. I mean, it just went really quickly, the filming of that portion of the reunion. Hi, Ava. You didn't like season 1. Did you like Why Are We Here? That's where they find out why they lived across the street. Did you like Look, Don't Touch in season 1? I'm curious if you liked any episodes of season 1. If you liked 0 episodes, that would be interesting to know. Okay, final thoughts before we break for today. Tom Caldabiano here. For those of you that are like, who is this guy? I was a writer on Everett Raymond for the all 9 years. I knew Raymond before when he was just doing stand-up, and I saw Raymond 2 days ago. So I am trying to share as many of the behind-the-scenes photos that I have. I will post, let's see, so I don't forget myself. Oh, there's Phil talking. I will post pictures of behind the scenes so you can see what the original set looks like from up there to the recreation of the set, which is so unbelievably accurate that it was hard to tell any differences. And also you have to keep in mind that we shot the show for 9 years. So over those 9 years, I'm assuming your house changed somewhat if we snapped our fingers and went back to when? When is 9 years ago? 2014? If there were any changes in your house, because there were changes in the Barone household. And then, of course, everybody, watch part 2 tomorrow night. Because the only way we can get a part 3 or something else is if it has astronomical ratings again. Then everybody puts their head together and goes, what else can be done to capitalize on this popularity? Yes. Okay, I'm going through. All right, everybody. Oh, let me go back here. Here. Wow, this is how far I have to be back for Instagram not to be a shocking close-up. All right, everybody, have a Merry Christmas. I will keep posting. Don't forget tomorrow night, post your questions. I will try and answer every single question that I am sent. I'll post an address if you guys want to send cards and letters. Feel free to write away at any time. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I will see you next Sunday.